Liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. It's a word that we have been hearing for the last couple of years, especially since 2020. And it's because we still focus on banks. We still focus on, if there is going to be a liquidity crisis very soon, because banks are still not that strong. The economy is still not that strong. They are giving us this falsified view of how the economy is improving, things are getting better, XYZ. And we know that that is not the truth. And in this video, I want to cover a few things. I want to talk a little bit about, what's really going on behind closed doors and how Ripple could very well be the big player to save us if we are going to have a liquidity crisis. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. And also, if you're not already following me on all social media platforms, you need to now by going down in the description below and doing so to never miss a future update. And also join the free Discord as well to make sure that you guys are crushing this market and taking profits. Now with that, let's dive on in to this recent report put out by Ripple, which is Discover the Vital Role of Crypto Liquidity in Modern Finance. Ripple Payments is continuously enhancing our liquidity capacity by expanding our network to near global coverage and developing innovative liquidity pathways. Now over here, we have the full breakdown, why crypto liquidity matters in the modern financial landscape. And if we scroll down, we are met with, imagine a world where transferring money across borders is as seamless as sending an email, instant, cost-effective, and reliable. While traditional financial systems are still grappling with delays, high cost, and frequent errors, blockchain technology is paving the way for a new transformation. At the heart of this change lies the concept of liquidity fulfillment, a crucial element in making near-instant cross-border payments a reality. But what exactly is crypto liquidity, and why should financial institutions care? Well, crypto liquidity refers to the ease in which a cryptocurrency can be bought or sold without affecting its market price. High liquidity indicates a stable market with plenty of buyers and sellers, while low liquidity can lead to volatility and higher transaction cost. The importance of crypto liquidity cannot be overstated. It ensures smoother border transactions, reduces overall transaction cost, and enhances the reliability of the market. For anyone involved in crypto transactions, from traders to businesses, understanding and valuing liquidity is crucial. Now, traditional cross-border payments. While traditional cross-border payments or financial systems have improved in terms of speed and reliability for cross-border payments, there are still significant issues that need addressing. SWIFT-based transactions, though faster than before, often leave users uncertain about the status and whereabouts of their money. Additionally, moving money during weekends, holidays, or outside traditional banking hours can still be challenging due to the unavailability of intermediaries to settle transactions during those times, which can delay the settlement process. This lack of transparency and occasional delays continue to pose challenges in an increasingly globalized economy. Now, this is the goal of liquidity fulfillment at Ripple. They also do give us a little bit of an insight that they are now in 80 plus payout markets, which is a significant change, because I think it was 70 the last time. So they continue to increase their network access and also building innovative liquidity pathways to make the cross-border payments experience fast, affordable, and seamless. While the crypto market is growing rapidly, it is still significantly smaller than the global FX market, which is a $7.5 trillion per day market, presenting a unique challenge that requires sophisticated methods to solve. To achieve this, we aim to facilitate fast, on-demand settlements at the lower cost, ensuring the best cross-border payments experience for our customers and partners. This includes making sure that liquidity is always available to meet demand, even outside of traditional banking hours. When we think about this, and as we do focus on banks themselves, right, as liquidity does get constricted, which has been lately, we do focus on what the answer is going to be. Will they tap into crypto-based liquidity? It definitely is something to, think about. It's definitely a possibility, but I don't think that liquidity is as strong as everyone is made to think when it comes to crypto. We still need to, grow. We still need to, hit bigger markets. We still need to, improve greatly. But, for the most part, when it comes to XRP has been built for something like a liquidity crisis to actually solve those problems. But here we have challenges in liquidity. Crypto and blockchain-based cross-border payments rely on sufficient liquidity to convert crypto into the destination's fiat or other cryptocurrencies. This liquidity is provided by retail and institutional market participants and can vary depending on the exchange, trading pairs, and the time of day. For instance, the liquidity for crypto fiat is lower than fiat to fiat, especially for emerging market currencies. Additionally, liquidity capacity tends to be lower on weekends compared to weekdays. Now, one thing that I will say is that, yes, there is, liquidity problems around crypto. But as we do look at Ripple and what they're, providing, their solution here is insane. It is one of the best solutions for not only the global payment system, but also the global liquidity system. With the introduction of AMMs and things like that on the XRP ledger, I do think that is where we really kind of look at, if we had a liquidity crisis tomorrow, would they be able to solve for it? Well, over here we have Ripple in parallel, exploring using the AMM and pools of liquidity to solve cross-border. Wait till all the NDAs are lifted. Check this out.
A lot of our work is, as I'm sure you'd appreciate, is confidential, but some of the projects we're doing are in the public realm. One of which is particularly applicable to today's topic, and that is our work in Palau. Palau, as you may know, is an island nation in the Pacific. And like every island, virtually, they have challenges with payments, geographic challenges. So to overcome some of these frictions, Palau is issuing a national stablecoin on the public XRP ledger. Some interesting things about Palau to know. First of all, they don't have a central bank. So they're not issuing a CBDC, as it were. They're issuing a dollar-denominated government-backed stablecoin. The next thing to know is they don't have any domestic banks in Palau. They have two banks, which are non-domestic, Bank of Guam and Bank of Hawaii. And it's not exactly a profit center for those banks to be there. So a big portion of the citizens in the island are underbanked. I think it's also worth mentioning that in Palau, the government is the primary employer. And you might think of any municipality in the US, a county where there's a major corporation or a military base that generates the majority of the economic activity in that particular market. And that parallel holds true in Palau with the government. And then finally, and interestingly, there's a lot of lending among and between families and friends on Palau, short-term lending. And that exists because there aren't credit cards on Palau. So it's very difficult to access short-term liquidity. It's not profitable or viable for a bank to issue a loan for $50 with a 2-week maturity. So citizens rely on each other. Your credit is only good in that environment, as good as your reputation. And so understanding all of these things, we spent time with the government to put together a pilot program. And the first phase of the pilot is processing payroll for government employees. The idea here is to showcase the benefits of the technology in a meaningful and tangible way and demonstrate a use case that has real world benefits. Looking to the future, we envision launching things like micro-lending protocols that facilitate peer-to-peer lending. Now, that's not something that can currently be done in Palau, but using this technology, it can be done fast, cheap, securely, and it will be beneficial, cost-effective for the provider, and financially beneficial for the citizens of Palau. So imagine a scenario where, for example, the Bank of Guam decides to structure a liquidity pool, which enables it to provision new services, generate revenue to the citizens on the island, and equally, maybe scale down their brick and mortar footprint as a cost savings. On the other hand, the citizens of Palau can access the liquidity pool to create credit, access short-term liquidity, and use future government payrolls as collateral for any loans they obtain. And they can also pledge money into the liquidity pool to earn interest. So these are things they can't currently do. When I think about using technology and stablecoins to enable financial inclusion, this is exactly the kind of use case that I think Ripple is focused on. And it's the kind of thing we're seeing opportunities like this all around the world. My one takeaway from engagements like this, and it holds true everywhere we go, is that there is no one-size-fits-all solution to addressing these problems. Yes, there are common themes, but all the challenges are unique, and you really have to understand how to address them. And we talk a lot at Ripple about how to do that. That's the hard part. That's the fun part. But I think that's where we will have our greatest impact.
So if we really take a quick second to think about this, right? We have the XRP on-demand liquidity aspect. We have XRP solving as a bridge currency. Now we have the Ripple stablecoin coming. On top of that, we have the AMM with pools of liquidity. This is solving for all of the inefficiencies around cross-border payments and even around banking itself. Not to even mention the freeing up of working capital, which is also providing a significant amount of liquidity to the market. Also, completely replacing Nostro Vostro accounts, which is in the tens of trillions of dollars. This would immediately solve a ton of problems around liquidity. And the reason why I bring this up is because of what the BIS have been telling us since going all the way back to 2022. Liquidity bridges across central banks for cross-border payments. This is literally what they told us back in September of 2022. International banks and other payment service providers may incur the cost of holding liquidity and collateral in different currencies across multiple jurisdictions to facilitate intraday payments in large value payment systems. This fragmentation can drive up the cost of cross-border payments or even discourage PSPs from expanding their services to more markets. Central bank liquidity bridges could help alleviate these costs by helping international banks and other PSPs manage their global liquidity requirements more efficiently. A central bank liquidity bridge is a short-term intraday liquidity arrangement set up between two or more central banks. Now, if we think about this, right, if they were trying to solve this back in 2022 around FX, which Ripple is dominating 90% of the FX market, they're focused on cross-border payments as well. They're working with 20 to 30 central banks. This is the perfect use case for what Ripple is trying to solve. And also, remember that Ripple has joined the BIS task force for cross-border payments back in August of 2023, all regarding fulfilling the goal to enhance cross-border payments and meet the quantitative targets for cross-border payments endorsed by the G20. And this was with MasterCard and even Swift and a few other players as well. I find this very interesting. Now, also, in a world where banks are still looking at liquidity, back here in February of 2024, it's past time to rethink bank liquidity for the digital age, followed by the ECB, how banks deal with declining excess liquidity. This was June 18th of this year. Kind of seems like they're preparing us for some liquidity problems. And also, even more recently, as we look at this post, regional banks battle liquidity crunch. This was from February 29th of this year. Liquidity around the banking sector is still constricted. Regardless of what we're hearing from the Fed and around, the space, liquidity is still constricted heavily. By the end of this year, we're going to start to see even more bank collapses. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, multiple at the end of this year, because with real estate slowing down, we have a lot of these banks holding commercial real estate loans. It's providing a lot of pressure to these banks. This is why I look at what's going on with the BIS, what the BIS is focused on, what's happening around crypto, because even though Ripple did join the BIS, this is not where it all stops, right? Even more recently, April of this year, central banks and the BIS test tokenization to speed cross-border payments. This just happened recently. Then when we also focus on what happened around, Ripple fully focusing on tokenization, institutional DeFi, it's all really kind of building up to Ripple becoming a big leader around the cross-border payment space, around tokenization, around central banking as well. I truly do think that Ripple will be tied in to this global central bank payment system, because of how many central banks that they already have tapped in, what they're solving for, with banks still constricted around liquidity. It's the perfect storm. It's the perfect storm for Ripple and XRP. And if you don't believe me, that's okay. You don't have to. But also over here, we have on-chain finance can make cross-border transactions faster, more verifiable, and 60 to 80% cheaper than the cost incurred by traditional models, according to an article co-authored by the BCG, Boston Consulting Group, and Fireblocks. And here we have the cross-border permission DeFi model. Remember, building blocks of institutional DeFi on the XRP ledger recently from Ripple. Look at this. This is a permission DeFi model, all based around banks and institutions. This is through blockchain A with blockchain C. You have AMM liquidity pool at the center point with blockchain B. And remember, it's all focused around the AMM. You also have wrapped tokens here. You have senders and receivers, the liquidity providers. This is very interesting, especially when we think about what's been happening around Ripple. They've been pushing liquidity. They've been pushing their stablecoin. They pushed the AMM recently with the XRP ledger. They pushed this article around the building blocks of institutional DeFi on the XRP ledger. They continue to announce tokenization efforts on the XRP ledger around institutional DeFi. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in what we are now seeing. And it seems as though Ripple is becoming a big player around this new on-chain tokenized and digitalized financial system. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.